Some call it hip-hop's family feud, old school versus new school. But is the divide real or fake? I spoke exclusively with one of hip-hop's most powerful people, Funk Flex.
The minute it all starts sounding the same, you know what it is. It's like, it's not going to be cherished, it's not going to be respected.
At the Hot 97 studios, Flex tells me there's no question hip-hop is evolving.
Are artists' styles like Nas and Snoop and Biggie and Jay going to come back in style? Probably not.
The clone zone is a concern for Diddy.
I'm not knocking nobody's dream. I just don't want the culture to get diluted, you know? Where it gets so mass-produced, it doesn't mean anything.
Lil Xan ignited a controversy when he went on Revolt TV and rated Tupac a 2 on a scale of 1 to 9. Waka Flocka went on Twitter to say he should be banned from hip-hop.
2. It's boring music.
I may say a lot of things about pop. Boring is not one of them.
Lil Yachty set off another new school, old school controversy when he called Biggie overrated. Then later apologized.
It riled up the young kids and like, yeah, man, Biggie's overrated. And then it riled up the olds like, what are you talking about?
Because you tagged me.
Yeah.
Flex admits he went hard on Yachty, but they started talking. Lil Yachty recently did a freestyle for him, and they turned a corner.
Hopped out the back door, ran a 4 flat, that was like way back.
That means you are studying the craft.
Right.
Because you're going home to try to figure it out.
Flex says too many of today's rappers are using social media gimmicks to get followers and are mistaking that for a real career.
If you're doing all of that and you have no talent, there's an expiration date for you already written in stone, like true whack rappers get.
Flex does have many favorites among new rappers.
I like A Boogie, I like Don Q, I like Dave East, I like JAQUAE, I like Rich the Kid, I like 6ix9ine.
Flex says the argument has been that new artists don't pay respect to the greats of the past, but he doesn't let the old school off the hook either.
The veterans of the music business need to share more information with the up-and-coming young talent.
Now that we've heard from Flex, let's find out what our panel has to say. Joining me is DREWSKI. He's a Hot 97 DJ and on-air personality. He's host of the new movement, Breaking New Artists, and also the new at 2 a.m. show. DREWSKI, yes. Great to have you with us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Also with us is Lord JAMAR, legendary hip-hop artist from brand NUBIAN. He's the co-host of You Not a Mean Godcast, also with Rod Diggas, co-hosting with him on that. Thank you so much for being with us.
Peace, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
And you also travel around the country doing a lot of performances and speaking tours.
Absolutely.
And everywhere. Also with us right now is JAQUAE. He's a hip-hop artist and entertainer. His latest song is Shake Some. If he looks familiar to you, it's because he's one of the stars of Love and Hip Hop New York. JAQUAE, great to have you with us.
Okay. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Let's
All right, we're happy. We're getting started. DREWSKI, I want to start with you on this. How do you break down new school, old school, or do we even have a school anymore?
Well, there's definitely two schools, old school, new school, and I think it's the millennials, the new generation, that are what's separating it. You know, the kids that were born in, like, I want to say 92 and up, they kind of don't know or not aware of everything that's happened in hip hop from the beginning. I'm saying Lord JAMAR can speak on it more, but from the early ages, you know, they lost touch. It's a whole new generation, whole new sound, new way of, it comes down to like recording music. You know, everything has changed.
Everything is different.
Everything is different.
I mean, Lord JAMAR, what do you say about that? Everything is different, and some people say it's a different world. To even try to compare the two is not fair.
I mean, you know, things change, but things stay the same as well. I think there's something that's trying to be created here as far as old school, new school. That's like saying, you know, where does hot and cold begin? We don't know. Where does old school and new school start? Can you tell me? Is there an exact date? No. I believe it's about, for me, it's about what's good and bad. You see what I'm saying?
But you've been here before, and you've said, but you've been here before, and you've said a lot of the new stuff that's out there is trash.
It is, but there's good out there too. There was trash out when I was out though. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's always been trash since the beginning of hip hop. But you got to gravitate to the good stuff. And so I'm about promoting what's good. And I'm about promoting the talented people, not the people that's all about gimmicks. And that's where it seems we're at right now.
Gimmicks.
We're in a popularity contest as opposed to a talent contest.
What about that, JAQUAE?
At the end of the day, you know, is art. Music is art. You know, so for people to downgrade the new school, you know, which I'm part of the new school music.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And and then I always had a problem with this because it's like, yo, like y'all the legends of this. Y'all the old school. Like, why not embrace us instead of, you know, hitting us and saying like, yo, it's trash, instead of like schooling us and telling us like, yo, listen, this is how the way that, you know, it was ran. You know what I'm saying? Like, I doubt it. Like, you growing up, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you wasn't rocking with the 80s and the 60s music. You know what I'm saying? You had to create something. So right now, what we doing, we creating music
for this era and
for
this time.
Era right here. And it's just like, it's still going on.
But let's talk about the issue that recent controversy. Lil Xan,
right,
a very new artist, very young and inexperienced artist. He made a statement. He was asked how to rate different rappers. He gave Tupac a 2 on which was a very low number on the scale, because he rated him, he thought that he was boring. He took a lot of heat for that, Drewski. You know the controversy. Why wasn't he allowed to have his opinion? Does everyone are there hip hop police about the music, and people have to like the legends, and if they don't like the legends, they get dissed on social media?
I feel like with social media, everyone feels like they have a voice. Right? No matter who it is. It could be a record executive or just a regular person at home. And with social media, if they disagree with something, they want to voice their opinion. And I think that's where it started getting out of control, is where everyone was hip-hop police. It didn't matter who you were. You didn't even have to have knowledge or anything. But with social media,
everybody's a critic.
Everyone's a critic and voicing their opinion.
Lord JAMAR, what about that? I mean, do you see a teenager, a new rapper, and isn't he entitled to his opinion the same way somebody who's been in the game for 10 or 15 years is?
Absolutely. It's just what I think some people are questioning is this an educated opinion? You see, you can have your opinion, but is this coming from a place of true education, or you just, I don't like Tupac because he don't turn up? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of this is my generation's fault, or things that happened in our generation. A lot of our fathers, you know, got killed or
incarcerated,
fell to crack, incarcerated. Right. So you had a removal of the man from the home and all of this type of stuff, who might have been the hip hop, you know, proponent in that household, whereas the mother's just listening to Hot 97. She don't care. You know what I mean? She's not bringing in the new albums into the household like a real masculine hip hop man would, and I think you can agree with that.
In terms of looking with I don't know if I agree with that. JAQUAE, what about that?
I mean, I feel that he's you know, entitled to his you know, for his opinion. Like, I say, like, this guy's young. You know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't even brought up to listen to Tupac and Biggie and everything like that. If he's around, like, people that's selling on the corners and everything like that, and like, that's what he know. You know what I'm saying? Like, the old school way, of course, like the Eazy-E, the Biggie, like they spoke of the struggle.
I don't want to be painted as the hater of all things new school.
I hope you don't feel like I'm not trying to paint you as the hater
of all things whack.
Lord JAMAR, artists today, though, it's a very different thing to be a successful artist. It's not enough to write a song. There's so many artists out there. There's fierce competition. What do you think about how the game has changed? Is that why art and music are so different?
I think so. I mean, like I said, I feel like we came up in a time where, now don't get me wrong, we used to do things to try to stand out. You had fools cutting mad parts in their hair, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Crazy rope chains and colorful clothes and all that type of. So I get it as far as trying to make yourself stand out. But at the same time, I think we had a variety of music back in the days. It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just
You feel it's one thing now?
It's about 3 things maybe. Like, let's turn up, take drugs, and go to the strip club and mess with some broads. You know what I mean? And you know, maybe shoot each other once in a while. And we even had all of that, but it still was more of a balance back then. You had funny rap, you had conscious rap, gangster rap, you had all kind of rap back then. Now, how many genres do we really have? How many artists, whenever you want to talk about a conscious rapper, they say Kendrick and J. Cole. That's it.
What about DREWSKI? What about that? I think there's a lot more diversity.
He keeps saying rap, and that's one thing. I think rap and hip hop have become 2 different
Which
genres.
is a shame,
right.
But you're right about that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of grouping everything all in the same thing.
No, I'm saying it's been separated from rappers and like hip hop.
Right.
Because in hip hop you have these artists, but they're not lyrical, so they're not really rapping.
Right.
They're personalities. They know how to make music, but they're not rappers. And
I think hip hop is the more MC. I think rap is the more what you're talking about.
Right, okay.
Whereas they're not lyrical. It's more music driven, personality driven.
Right.
Whereas in hip hop, it's more culture.
But there are a lot of things, there are a lot of types of music that are labeled hip hop, even if the people are not
now,
rapping.
who's giving these labels though? We got to be suspect about that as well.
Well, I think it's the consumers, because you talk about popularity.
Not the consumers though. It's the people selling it. It's the people at radio stations and all. They're the ones that put it into a certain box. And I just want to say real quick, you said who decides what's good or not? The curators. Like, who decides what goes in a museum? A curator of a museum. You can't just put anything I draw on a crayon on a piece of paper and say put this in a museum.
Right, but a lot of times now, though, if there's 2 artists, one who maybe is true to the old school way, very lyrical, very focused, that kind of rapper, and then somebody else who's really popping on social media, who's doing more club music, doing more of the music that people want to dance to and party to, and has a lot of followers, who do you think is going to get? Whose record is going to get more attention, JAQUAE?
I would have to say whoever that's current. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, I feel like things haven't changed. You remember hip hop, the hip it. You know what I'm saying? It was already way before all of the funny. It's all melody. You know what I'm saying? So whoever got that melody at that time and it's rocking, everybody gonna rock with that. It's all about what's currently moving.
But
you know what I'm saying?
It's also a popularity contest. Like an artist like JAQUAE, who's a great talented artist, also decided to do television to become more popular. And with that, it drives more, streams.
It drives more followers. People become more aware.
Yes.
Tell us about that process.
I mean, I would have to say
because you've been around. You've been working at your craft for a while.
I've been working. I've been on the Bad Boy Street team. handing out flyers and everything.
Shout out to Sean Prez.
Shout out to Sean Prez, my manager. And I took that very serious. You know what I'm saying? Just watching artists. From Bad Boy and Interscope. You know what I'm saying? Like who's successful and who's not. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the work. A lot of people like to get these titles behind them and get relaxed. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of that. I want to just keep succeeding, So what I did was, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in the studio, I'm going to work on my craft, and I'm going to get popping. But dang, I'm popping on the East Coast, So what I'm going to have to do? Oh, wow, okay. I'm going to put mad hooks out there and then see who want to bite it. So now I got like 5 songs on the radio, and then what happened? Love and Hip Hop. Yo, you want to expand your... Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? Because I got what it takes. But it took visibility. But it took the grassroots. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to forget about the grassroots. You know what I'm saying? Like this, what really touches people and people can feel it. Because nowadays, of course, it goes back to the social media. I could just put out a 10-second video saying, "Oh my, hold up," and then that could be a trending joint. Because I said, "Oh my, hold up," you feel me? And then now that I got all these followers, I could just create something to get popping. But now, am I a true artist? From that, because I'm popping now, and then I start doing music. Like that's more questionable too now.
You seem like the type of artist that actually had talent coming into this.
Thank you.
And because we're at a certain time, your talent wasn't enough. That you needed something else to propel you into the peak. Where I'm saying, in my time, your talent would have been enough.
Let's talk about the lyrics versus the beats. One of the things, and I've been hearing it. People talk about it. The conversations are out there, especially here in New York, and they're saying, you know what? I can't understand what they're saying in the music, and that to some die-hard, hardcore, old-school hip-hop fans, that's just a felony crime right there. DREWSKI, what about what's going on lyrically?
I don't feel like it's everyone, but the kids that are making the music that's popping, it works in the nightclubs. So as a DJ, it works for me when I'm DJing in a nightclub. The beat, the words don't matter. It's all about the energy and the record, right? The beat. So that works. Now, if you're in a car trying to listen to it, of course you're not gonna understand. But there's still some artists that are producing, you know, lyrical content, and I feel like it's also coming back in a sense too. You know what I'm saying? I think as a DJ, you know, and a radio DJ, we have some influence on that. So it's deciding what we want to represent, what we want to play. And if we keep playing what people consider trash, then it's just going to become a bunch of more trash. But we got to start supporting more of the lyrical artists and just have a balance. You know,
What do
That's
you
all
think?
I'm asking for is the balance. I mean, I think it's your state of mind too. Like you said, you know, certain people from a certain era would see that as a crime. I mean, I think you'd take it as a crime if you opened a book and just all the letters were scrambled around. I mean, I could read the pictures. The pictures I could understand. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't read what the words say. That would be a little frustrating
Yeah, but
to
maybe you don't
when I
need
was,
to read what the
Well,
words
then
say.
why
If the
do I
beat-
have a book?
If the beat is popping,
Why am I opening
if
the book?
beat is popping,
So then give
and
me-
it's just
so
fun,
then
what's
tell
wrong
me
with
that it's just a picture book. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying as an intellectual person,
Okay.
if when I open a book, I expect to see not just pictures but words too. Call me crazy, okay? But I grew up in a world where books had words that you can read and it was legible. Now, if you're telling me that we're in a world where we only read picture books, fine, explain that to me though, and explain how we're gonna truly learn some things. And I'm saying in the world there are picture books and there are other books. Just don't give me all picture books. That's all I'm asking.
JAQUAE, what about that?
I don't hate picture books. I just don't want to read them every damn day. That's all.
Balance. I would have to say, you know, that's where it comes with the, you know, the communication from the old school and the new school, you know what I'm saying? Because he can't relate to it. Because he's like, yo, listen, like, what's all this hubbity? No, hear me out. Hummity, thunder. You know what I'm saying? Some music you may rock out to it because it's
Can't
that.
understand it.
You know
I
what I'm
can
saying?
feel the
But you know what I'm
vibe.
saying? Hummity, you know what I'm saying? But Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like but it's all. It brings it back to the melody. You know what I'm saying? The melody, and then we talking about
We
the
had
beats
melodies
now.
that you
but
could
look, we
hear the
talking about
words.
beats now, and not just only because, yeah, of course, back in the day it was all about, yeah, you gotta sit and you gotta think and you gotta vibe with it. But now the music have, like, it goes around the beat now. Because if you got that 808,
The beat is the
boom,
driving for
hold
the
up,
808,
let me
right.
get the boom, boom, boom. You're like, oh, I could vibe with this joint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just feel like it changed from, okay, now you know what? I can just be more relaxed for, you know, on the beat now. You know what I'm saying? Because
The
the
beat is king
808
versus
is gonna
lyrics being king.
help me talk. You know what I'm saying? Because now the beat is helping us talk now. You
Well,
know
they
what I'm
definitely
saying?
spreading it
Like,
out more. It's
you
not
know?
as much words.
You
can-
gotta say
I come
much,
to the
so that
party.
would
and-
So look,
I jump in on in and
that's
out.
on fire right there. Like, yeah, I'm with all that. You feel me?
Right.
That's it. There you go. There you go. Hey. You know what I'm saying?
See
Yo,
how we just
I don't
bring it
hate
out
on.
there?
See, I don't want to be painted as the hater of all things new school.
I hope you don't feel like I'm not trying to paint
I'm
you
the
as the hater.
of all things whack.
I want to thank all of you for being with us for this episode of Street Soldiers. Hot 97's own DREWSKI, thank you so much. Lord JAMAR, appreciate it. And also JAQUAE, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And remember, use your mind. It's your best weapon. I hope it's your only weapon. I'm LISAEVERS. Let's push for peace.